This is Gemara Avodah Zarah, Daf Chav Ches. We're holding on Chav Ches and Aleph. We're 5 lines into the Amid. Amar Rav Zutra. I'm going to apologize now that we pulled up Mamish 2 lines early, but as we'll see, it's really it can also be utilized as a Hakdama. But let's get there. Amar Rav Zutra Bar Tovia. Says Rav Zutra Bar Tovia. Amar Rav. Kol Maka Shetricha Oimid. Any Maka that we need to assess, if we're not sure whether this is a fatal makkah or not, that very suffix, that very is this sakanas nefashais that allows us to do what? Machal Shabbos, you have to machal Shabbos to save the person. Amar Hashem barabam Rav Yechanan, v'hayishta tzamirta kemat kashal chalal dami. A burning fever is like a makkah shalal, and you machal in Allah Shabbos. A very famous debate. How far of a fever? A Moshe Tshuva writes not such high numbers, into the low 100s. Which again, a lot of this has to do with contemporary science. Maybe Ramosha means a persistent low fever. But the point of the story is that the moment we have a suffix, perhaps this is life altering, we are mechalel alas Shabbos. But the Gemara gave us a klal, and the klal the Gemara taught us was a makkah shel chalal, an internal affliction. So now, 10 lines down, the first one line is Hashabos asks the Gemara, Mehechad makkah shel chalal. From where is such a makkah? Pir shavami min asafal ifnim, from a lip and inward. That is called an internal affliction that one would be mechalel Shabbos to save a patient. Bai Rav Elazar, kichi v'shini mai. What is the status of the gums and the teeth? Do we say Do we say that since they are hard, therefore they're like external afflictions? They are gavai, they are inside kaimi standing, therefore perhaps kemaka shel chalal dami. So what is the status of teeth and gums? Amar Abaye, says Abaye, Toshima. If someone has a teeth pain, he cannot sip vinegar through his teeth. Because he's merely a chayshesh, he's merely sore. If it's very painful, shaber dami, then you're allowed to. So what do we see? It would seem you're treating this affliction, it would seem to indicate, says the Gemara, that your teeth is an internal affliction. Says Gemara, no, maybe the Tana is talking about where it's a lot of pain, therefore chayshish nami karilan, you can even call it a chayshish, so there is no raya. Tashima, 3 lines of the white lines. Rav Yechon chash b'safidna. Rav Yechon had a disease called safidna. He went to a certain noble woman of the Chamsha Mali Shabbat. She made a remedy on the 5th day of every week, on Thursdays, Umali Shabbata, as well as on Fridays. Amar la, he said to her, Lemachar mai, tomorrow what should I do? Amar le, she responds, Lo tzarichta. Tomorrow Shabbos, you'll need to do anything. Tzarichna mai. Rechna says, what if I do need something? Amra, she says, you have to swear to me that you're not going to reveal the remedy I'm about to tell you. Ishtaba, he swears, he swears to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I will not reveal it. Gal Yolei, so she tells him. Lamachar, Nafak, Adosham, Hipirka. The next day he went out and he taught it publicly, even though he made such a shvuah. The next day he tells everyone, ask the Gemara, how can he, the Ashtabila? But he swore he wouldn't reveal it. Says the Gemara, no, what it meant was that to Hashem he won't reveal it. Avalami Yisrael, then Galil I would. Ask the Gemara, okay, very good shtick, very good twisting of the words. But on the third by line, ask the Gemara, the $1 million kasha, Hashem. Where's the Chal Hashem? Says the Gemara, you know what? The Galila Meikara, he told her in the beginning, he told her that it wasn't a real shvua. Almas, what do we see? What do we see? We see that the tooth must be considered an internal ailment. Why? for the fact that Rav Yochanan was willing to take this treatment on Shabbos. Amar Nachman Yitzchak no raya. Shani Safina. Holil Matzchol Bepev. Safina is a disease that starts in the mouth and ends in the intestines, meaning it could indeed be fully internal. Maisi money. What are the symptoms? Rami midi be kachi. When you put something on your gums, umaisi dama be dari, and blood comes out of the teeth. Mimai have. Where does it come? Mekriri kriri dechiti. Know where it comes from? Very cold wheat. Umechami chamimi desairi. Very hot barley. Umeshayure kasa deharsana. And fried fish that has been left overnight. So my avdila, what lemaisa did this matronisa tell Rav Yochanan that he did? Amar Rav Acha b'derava. Meisa arv Shem Zayisu Melech. Yeast, water, Shem Zayisu Melech. Oil, olives and salt. Omar Baravashi Amar no. Mishchad avza b'gadva diavza. Liquefied goose fat on the outside of the teeth with a goose feather. Amar Abaye, ano avdi kulu. I did all these different things and it didn't help. Until till a certain Arab merchant said to me, bring a pit of olive that has not grown a third. They call me Amara Charatam, burn them atop a new shovel, Dvidavik, and then stick them Didari, then stick these wheat kernels to inside of your teeth, Avdi Hachi, and then he was indeed healed. Says the Gemara, Rav Yochanan Avid Hachi. How did Rav Yochanan do this? Smack in the middle of the wide lines. First line is Hachi. You can't trust the Goyim. Says the Gemara, Adam Chashiv Shiny, and Adam Chashiv, you don't have to worry, the Goyim will never do anything to him. And yeah, it's from the Yaakov Minai Sama Ashke. That what happened was Rami Bar Yaakov, Rami Le Yaakov, Rama Le Yaakov Mina. Yaakov, the man who put Sama Ashke, sell an ointment to the leg. I'm not from Ravasi who licked it off. Paske the Shake, his leg would have needed to be amputated. So says the Gemara, you see, even for an Adu Chashiv, you cannot trust the Goyim. Says the Gemara, no, I'll tell you, the Rav Yochanan Gufei Momchave. Rav Yochanan himself was a Momchave. The Ravua Nami Roife Momchave, he himself was. Shani Ravua de Mukmi Bey Mine bin Avshayu. Ravua is different. Why? Because the Minim got involved. Tama is Nafshi and Pelishtim. They said, no, I'll die with the Pelishtim. So they didn't have that same level of care and concern. Amar Shmuel, Hai Pedata Sakantahi. Padasa, a wound that's when one is hit by a sword, is a Sakana Chalav, is a Shabbos. Mayasu, so what's the remedy? Lemifsak Dama, to stop the blood. Tachli Lechala, drink cress and apply vinegar. Lasuke Garada, Lasuke to heal the wound. Girda Diabli, the Girda Dasana. He should apply a different potion of scrapings of Yilma, scraping of thorn bushes, or peckings of the trash garbage pile. Amir Rav Safra, another story, 5 lines at the bottom. Ayin vasa, grape-like boil, paragna de malka, de musa is the messenger of the angels of death. Maya Suta, what is a cure? Tigna biduvsha oikar parsa bitalalya. Says the Gemara, tigna, grass, grind it up. Biduvsha with honey, or karbarsa bitalalya, wild celery with wine. Adachi v'achi, in the meantime, they see in vasa bas mina, bring a grape that's similar to the boil. V'nignader aleya chavirta lechavirta, and roll it upon him, a white grape for a whitish boil, v'okimta le'akimte, and a darkish grape, a blackish grape for a blackish boil. This simta, an abscess, is the messenger of fever. Is kalti. What does he have to do? He has to 60 times snap the finger at him. and then rip it open, lengthward and the horizontal word. V'hani immediately says, but this is only what? When the tip is not white. Rav Yaakov suffered, as we turn over to Bepika, with sores in the backside. Rashi says, so they said to him, bring 7 seeds of a red aloe, Toilana, excuse me, tied upon the cloth around the neck, wrap around some animal here, dip it into a white naft, burn it, and spread the ash on the area. Bring the seeds of the fruit of the thorn bushes, place the fruit against the opening of the incision. Again, different remedies. You don't necessarily understand what these things mean, but this is what the Gemara says. And explains the Gemara 4 lines from the Y lines. It's only when inflammation is on the outside of the incision. Says the Gemara, 1 second. Bring fats of a animal, a goose particularly, that have not given birth, and melt them over the heat, and then smear it upon the area. And if that doesn't work, bring 3 trefers betula that are dried up in the shade, and burn them, spread the ash on the infected area. Bring the shells of the chalzaini, bring wax off, linka b'sachla tekista v'kaita, bring and wrap it in cloth during the summer, u'de'ime gofna b'sitza and kain during the winter. Rav Avua chash. So Rav Avua on the second white line got sick. From what? B'odnei, in his ear. What did they tell him to do? Ki adam Ravaya. You know, my mother told him, his mother doesn't refer to his real mother, refers to a nurse that took care of him when he was young. The kidneys were not created except for as a remedy for ear pain. May the healers tell me, all liquids are harmful for the ear. Levar, except for maya, except for, I lost the place, excuse me. Except for the fluid of the kidney. Let him bring the kidney of a goat and rip it open. And place it upon coals. The liquid that comes out of it, you could put on the air, not hot, cold, just rather medium temperature. While bring the fat of a large scarab tree, and pour it on the air. Fill the ear with oil. Make 7 wicks from green wheat stalks. Let him bring dried garlics, tie it to the animal. One them, fire on the other end, put it near a fire, place the ear near the fire. Be care of the winds, the draft that blows. Remove one as you replace it with another. Let him bring 7 wicks of animal hair. Spare with balls and well. 1 fire on the ear and 1 fire on the other end. Move 1 wick and replace with another one. Be careful of Zika of these drafts. Third option, apologize, the highlighting popped off. Put in the air, plus the ear near the fire. Be aware of the cold. Then bring a tube that is 100 years old. You need to fill it up with a rack of salt, and burn it, and apply this mixture to his ear. And these are the wonderful recommendations. And we'll pick it up from here. B'siyata Dishmaya.